Hello everyone, welcome to Life O Fusion, where knowledge meets excellence. So in this video, I am going to show you how to calculate relative expression of the target protein of Western blot image, or how to calculate or measure the Western blot image using Image J. So Image J is one of the approved software by NIS, so I will use the Image J to measure the intensity of the Western blot image. So I can go to file, then I can open, or I can directly click. You can directly click Ctrl O to open your desired file. So here I'll choose the beta catenin. Beta catenin, one of the important protein in the Wnt pathway. So when I choose the beta catenin protein, as you can see, I have 6 bands. The first band is control and other 3 are the treated band. So to find the relative expression, we have to use a loading control. A loading control can be GapDH, a loading control can be beta catenin, or also a loading control can be your consume image. So through your TPN method, total protein normalization method, you can use consume image having a color marker. Okay, so here I use the traditional method where I use GapDS as the loading control. So after open this file, I have to choose a rectangle shape to fit the all band. So remember that this rectangle shape what I am choosing for one band should be exactly same for all each and every band. Means the area of your targeted what you measure should be same for all the band. Okay, so once I choose, so that's why try to choose a large size band. So if the large size band is fit inside the rectangle, so the rectangle can be fit to each and every band. So then I choose Control M. When once I click Control M, I'll find the means I am measuring this value. So once I get the all measures like area, mean. So mostly use the mean, and area is for our reference. Means we used a exact same a rectangle shape or not. This rectangle box should be same throughout the our all bands. So I'll transfer it to second one, then Control M. See the area is same 3840. Then third one, Control M. Then fourth one, Control M. Fifth one, Control M. Remember that this rectangle should only cover the targeted band, not the nearby any of the bands. So I got the area and mean of all the bands. Next, most of the image will find slightly background. As you can see here, slightly dark background is there. So this background should be nullified when you do calculation. So that's why you have to measure background also. So as I serially choose this background of first band. So try to keep slightly nearby the band and choose Control M. Remember that this whenever you are measuring the background, the rectangle box should be exactly same. You should not change the rectangle box. Control M. See, I am choosing mostly nearby part. Okay, nearby area of each and every band when I choose for the bands. Okay, Control M and Control M. So I got all this mean of our targeted protein, targeted band and background. So I'll copy and transfer it to a Excel sheet for the calculation. So here I transfer this, Control V. So this is the bands. So we need the mean. Only we require the mean. So this is a number of bands, and the second one is our area. So area is same. So now this is confirmed. So I can delete this part area. Then these are not required. This is the mean of our what targeted protein, that is beta catenin. Okay. So next we do exactly same for what for our GapDS, that is our loading control. So I'll delete this part and I'll open the GapDS. So I can choose Control O. Okay, so this is GapDS. This is the GapDS of the targeted beta catenin. So as you can see, I have 6 bands of GapDS. Similarly, I'll measure the GapDS. I'll use a exact same box for each and every GapDS. Control M. So whenever you do Western blot, try to get a clear image. So if you, so to get a clear image, I am going to upload in future in next week. So how to do Western blot, a complete hands-on workshop video. So where I teach how to do Western blot, a standardized protocol throughout the each and every process from protein expression till your development of band. So we'll get a clear image of each and every band. As you can see, this gap here, there is no background, only there are bands. Control M. So similarly, here also I choose the background. See, you can see some background, but there may be a very minor background will be there. So you have to choose the background also. Control M. Control M. Control M. Control M. This is Control M. This is Control M. So we got this value for gap dates also. So I'll copy, I'll mark all, copy and paste in the Excel sheet. So here also I can delete this part, but that problem, area box of target and area of a box of gap dates is different, no issue. But in a single band, this area should be same. Okay, in a single block. So you can see here 4472. I can delete this. So this is our mean value of gap DH. So I can delete all other parts. Okay, so now come to the calculation. So here you have to do our calculation using the formula which is provided by NIH. This I'll show you how to calculate through NIH formula. So this is the protein X. Protein X means the mean intensity we found when we measure our band, directly band, and it's the background Y. I choose X for our targeted protein and Y for the respective background. So the first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these first 6 are the our protein, targeted protein, beta catenin. I'll paste here. Okay. So I'll show you the calculation here. So I'm just deleting this part. Okay. So here your gap dates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. These 6 are the targeted gap dates band. So here Control V. Then background, last 6 are the background. I'll copy the background value and paste in the background column. Similarly, same thing for gap DH. Control C and I paste it. So when I pasted it, so now no need this one, I'll delete this part. So now remember that when you in image J, if the mean value is less, means the band is more thicker or having more intensity. Okay, so for more intense band, you will get a very less mean, and for light band, you will get a very high mean. Because image J will give you the expression of how much area was not covered, means not showing any bands. So if you take a completely white image, okay, if you take a completely white image without any single dot, any background, for a white background, we get a mean of 255. Okay, are you getting it? So when you get a mean of 255, when you choose a white background, so that's why we have to find the inverted protein. The formula for inverted protein is we have to minus the intensity what you got from our mean value of image J from 255. So I will minus the 255 minus the intensity mean value. Okay, I can scroll this, so I'll get all value done. Similarly, I have to calculate for the inverted background. See, as you are calculating for protein targeted band, similarly you have to calculate for background. So 255 minus the mean of background. Okay, done. Then so the net protein intensity will be, you have to minus the inverted background from inverted protein. So from C column I have to minus F column. So this is equal to, this is inverted protein minus inverted background. I have to minus the background, inverted protein minus inverted background. Done. We got the net protein expression. Okay. So now this is the exact expression. Most of the people want to do mistakes. They directly use this mean value and they directly compare with gap DS. That is completely wrong method. Okay, so that's why we have to find a exact protein intensity, the net protein intensity, which we should calculate from it to minus the inverted, it find the inverted protein, inverted background, and it to minus the background from the band, what the inverted protein means the intensity you got from band. Similarly, you have to for gap DS exactly same equal to 255 minus 14. So this is the value of inverted protein. Similarly, equal to 255 minus background. So we got the inverted background. So the net protein equal to inverted protein minus inverted background. Okay. So we got these two value. So now, next mistake is should not directly divide it. So when you find a relative intensity, you need to divide this value or intensity of targeted protein with the intensity of gap DS. Don't do that directly because you have to find a normalization factor, which is the exact method of calculation. So here in this next table, I will find the value of our normalization factor. So normalization factor will find from loading control, that can be gap DS or beta catenin, whatever I am using as loading control. So the net intensity, protein intensity of gap DS, I will choose here. The net protein intensity of gap DS, I will choose this for to find the normalization factor. I copy it and paste in this value. Control P. Sorry. Okay. So now, then how to find a normalization factor? So there are two methods. So main method is we have to choose a intensity. It can be either a highest intensity or lowest intensity. So the formula is observed signal of housekeeping protein of each lane. Okay, this is the observed signal of housekeeping protein in each lane. These all are that divided by highest observed signal of housekeeping protein on the blot. Okay, so as you can see here, highest is 70. Okay, or you can choose the lowest one. Lowest is 53. So mostly choosing a highest one is more better. So I'll choose here the highest one. So we divide this highest one with each and every intensity of all the protein. So equal to this plot divided by the same one, because you have to divide the 70.358 in each and every length. So I'll get 1. So this, because to make it 1, remember that means you are choosing that this is our proper loading. Okay, we choose the loading, because if you choose any other mean value or between value, you will get a slightly different value. So better to choose, better to make it 1, we have to choose exactly a value which is highest or lowest, because whatever value we are getting from here, it should not exceed 1. It should be 1 or less than 1. That's why you have to choose the highest observed signal. Signal is equal to this one divided by the highest one. Okay, as you see here, we are getting all value below 1 divided by. Okay, similarly do for it for all. Divide the intensity of each blot with the highest value, highest intensity, highest signal you got on the plot. So equal to 1 divided by 70. Done. So this is our what? Normalization factor. So I'll copy this normalization factor. So now the next calculation. So whatever you got in your targeted protein, we have to divide that each and every lane with their respective your control. Okay, or your normalization factor. So this is the normalization factor. So equal to your net protein intensity divided by the normalization factor. Okay, I can scroll this. Done. So this is the value what we should use to plot a graph. So this is I choose for single. Likely you have to do triplicate. After getting triplicate value, 3 value, you can prepare a bar graph. So this is the method how to calculate your relative frequency, relative expression. So you can write in the y-axis that relative expression of beta catenin as compared to GAP-DH, because from GAP-DH you are comparing. So this is the directly you do. This is without any non-phosphoprotein. This is the non-phosphoprotein. So I just next I show you just the expression. Similarly, you have to measure and how to calculate for phosphoprotein with the Excel sheet. So as you can see here, I am used phospho-AKT. So similarly, as you calculated for beta-catenin, using normalization factor, the intensity you have to calculate for phospho-AKT and AKT, because for phosphoprotein we should find the relative expression from that total protein. So the first step is exactly how we did for beta catenin. So for phospho-AKT, the net intensity or normalization factor I will calculate using GAP-DH. For AKT, same GAP-DH like how we calculated for beta catenin. Then in the next step, to find the relative expression of phospho-AKT, you have to divide the phospho-AKT intensity of phospho-AKT with AKT, value of AKT. Then whatever you get, that is your exact value. So this is the how to calculate for phosphoprotein. So if you have any doubt, you can ask any doubt in the comment section and try to follow my channel, and have a good day.